My brother is living with me in secret and my mom thinks I'm cheating on my husband. About 2 weeks ago, my F25 sister-in-law, F32, dropped a bombshell on my brother, M29, that their youngest, 5F, might not be his child because she had been sleeping with her ex-boyfriend around the time they got pregnant. He showed up on my doorstep and asked if he could stay with me while he figured this stuff out. I of course said yes and made up the guest room for him. My brother asked if I could keep his situation private while he figures out his next moves and especially not tell our parents. My mom has an incredibly close relations HP my sister-in-law, and with how she treated her older sister who divorced her husband after he cheated on her, she doesn't view cheating as something worth divorcing over. Basically the other day, my mom and I were on FaceTime and I was showing her how my Coradine garden was coming along. My back was facing the house and during the call, she briefly saw my brother pass by a window without his shirt on. She ended up cutting the call short and left me confused until she called back last night and lectured me on how I was betraying my husband and that marriage is a promise for a lifetime. She said she understood I was lonely, but this was not the way to handle things. My husband has been in Canada, we live in the States, since April with his father who is in kidney failure and struggling with other illnesses and is looking like he won't make it past Christmas at this point. He is aware of the situation and aware of not telling my parents anything. I couldn't explain to my mom and tried playing it off that she was just seeing things, but she didn't buy it. I told my brother what happened and he's frustrated about it. He asked for a few more days to get his head straight and then he will talk to our parents about it, but knowing him, those few days could turn into weeks. I don't want to spill to my parents, but this situation is incredibly uncomfortable. What do I do? Edit. I am currently at work, but I am thankful for all the replies and reading through all of them. Edit 2. Just want to clarify. I already replied to one commenter, but my husband is aware of what my mom thinks is going and why my brother is staying with me. Edit 3. I really am thankful for everyone who has commented. When I get home from work tonight, I will be looking into getting mental and legal help for my brother. Also, for those asking why I didn't just say it was him visiting, I will be honest and panicked. I was nervous if I mentioned him to our mother, she'd call his home and talk to Sil and find out everything. Considering how much my mom loves my Sil, she'd take her side and try to intervene and guilt my brother into going back to her. I could have been much smarter in that moment. As long as your husband knows what's going on, I don't think this is a big problem. It will eventually get sorted when your brother makes a decision to deal with this, and then you can explain the situation to her. Is your brother waiting for paternity test results? If your mom doesn't think cheating is something to divorce over, let her think what she wants. You told her you're not having an affair. What she chooses to think is up to her. Let your brother have his space. The truth will all come out when he's ready and you can all laugh about it. Just keep it going for a bit. Your bro needs your help and support RN. He just found out not only was he cheated on, but his child might not be his. That sucks. This might end up being a waiting game. It's uncomfortable, but if your brother doesn't want your mom to know about his situation yet, and you can't tell her out of respect for your brother, there's not much you can say other than telling your mom that you're not cheating and to trust you. It's not worth coming up with a lie about this. And as long as, like you said, your husband knows what's up, that's all that matters in the end. That way, if your mom pulls a sneaky and tells your husband, he will not tell her about your brother and he'll know you're not actually cheating. I mean, it sucks that she thinks so, but does what she thinks really matters? Your brother knows, your husband knows, and honestly you kinda lucked out having a mom who for some reason thinks cheating is not a dealbreaker, cause at least you know she won't go nuclear even if she is convinced you're cheating. I get the feeling from your mother's difference in reaction that she only has an issue with women cheating, not men. Some people have the twisted idea it's normal for men to cheat, but so wrong if women do. So, your mom might surprise you and actually side with your brother if he divorced his wife. She is okay with cheating but think you are cheating and wants to lecture you. I bet she will end up taking Sil's side more than likely. I feel bad for your brother, poor man. You're doing a good thing helping your brother. Don't let your mom's negativity get you down. You know you're not cheating, your husband knows you're not cheating, that's what's important. Why not just say your brother was visiting? No mom, I'm not cheating. I'm dealing with a situation that I can't tell you about just yet. Everything will come out in time. Until then, please just trust me. Okay. Easiest solution is tell her the exact story, but instead of your brother substitute in a friend's or work colleague's name. So like, oh that was John, husband's friend. He's having marital issues and needed to get away for a few days. You can ask husband if you're worried, he's the one who suggested it. As long as you give your husband a heads up, you should be fine. Leave it as is. Your mom is too in your guy's business because you keep her there for some reason. Your husband knows the truth. So do you. Oh well on the rest. Your brother is going through enough, let's not add this to the plate. How well does she know your friend group? Could you say that a friend is going through some marital issues, needed a place to stay and asked you not to tell anyone? Why couldn't you just say your brother spent the night or his shower wasn't working so he came to use yours or something? Instead of making yourself look guilty trying to gaslight her when she clearly saw him, why not just say it was your brother? His personal business didn't even need to come up. I'm genuinely confused. Just make sure you're ready to call your mom out on her bullshit if she takes SIL's side. So how come Sil cheating isn't a big deal to your mom but it is if you'd be the one cheating? Anyone else thinks it's incredibly interesting that the mother doesn't think infidelity is something worth ending a marriage over, but yet would get in your shit about the possibility that you were having an affair. Can we really have it both ways? Your mom is too involved in your life. I think you should take some space from her. Just get your husband to call her and tell her that he knows that there was a shirtless man in your house on that day, he knows why, and the reason is private but isn't you cheating on him. I'm sorry, I know this isn't helpful but I think your mother is hilarious in her double standards. Giving you shit for cheating, which is actually your brother not wanting to hear her tell him that his wife cheating isn't a big deal. I bet the mental gymnastics she must be doing are hella impressive. Not talking about this with you, Mom. End of discussion. Stop talking about this or I will hang up. Just skip past it. It's not like she can come around to check. I'd be more into getting DNA tests for yourself, your dad and your brother, since your mom is so gung-ho about cheating. Your mom sounds like a terrible person. I would just tell your mom that a friend is going through a sensitive time in his life and is staying with you. Tell her your husband knows and fully supports it. If she asks for details, tell her you can't say anything. I'm sorry but why couldn't you just say that your brother was over for a visit or a friend was there? Telling her she's seeing things is the main excuse cheaters go with. Of course she's not going to buy it. Just say a friend was over. Anyways, there's nothing really to do. Just tell her this isn't her business and ignore her. Ignore mama till brother figures it out. So she doesn't think cheating is worth divorcing over, yet she is preaching to you about the sanctity of marriage. Sounds like something out of a movie. This really is none of your mother's business. Your husband knows the facts and is on board with the story, and that's all that really matters. It's this stuff that makes me crazy. The courts are screwed up. If the woman cheats and lies about who the father is, she is never held accountable for it. I believe in equal rights and that doesn't sound equal to me. I would tell my mother that my brother is staying in my guest room, and husband is aware. She can ask him why. So the mom doesn't think cheating is divorce-worthy, but is mad at you for cheating. I'll bet money your mom has a different idea about men cheating than she does about women. So you couldn't just say your brother was over? Woman shrugging, light skin tone. I have two brothers. One that came home from another country and was living with my mother, but he still came over to mine for nights out and used the shower bathroom, get cleaned up. Don't pressure your bro. Give him space and time. Tell your mom to mind her business if she raises the topic again. You change it to whatever you want to talk about. Essentially telling her that this is off the table and she is not being asked for her input, opinion or thoughts. The other thing to consider with your bro. Did your Sil tell the ex her suspicions as well? If so, what are her thoughts on the relationship this guy might want to have with your niece? What is your bro thinking in regards to this? It might help to get his head out of his own space if he knows he needs to take steps to ensure the well-being of this little girl he thinks of as his. Focusing and just that for the immediate moment might help him to take action. You told her you were not having an affair. For now, let her believe what she wants. Everything will eventually come out and she'll know you're not cheating on your husband. Although, her views on cheating seem to vary from person to person. That might be something worth pointing out, as the topic will certainly come up when the state of your brother's marriage becomes common knowledge. Well, too late. Just stick with the plan, as long as your husband is aware. Person shrugging. Why is your mom bothering to lecture you if she doesn't think cheating is a dealbreaker anyways? Why does anyone in your family give a fuck what your mom thinks? You are all adults. She doesn't think cheating is a reason for divorce. Good for her, she doesn't get to dictate what you think or do though. Same for your brother, which honestly I would jave a paternity test being done and a peeking with a divorce lawyer. You and your brother need to talk to your husband and head off any misconceptions from his end, then give your brother the time he needs to sort it out with your parents and his wife. Don't put your marriage in jeopardy. Why does it matter what she thinks though? Sounds like this woman need boundaries. Your mom's expectations with respect to infidelity are pretty fickle, it sounds like. She's appalled at the thought of you cheating on your husband but cannot see it ever being grounds for divorce. No wonder your brother is struggling with how to present this information to her. You both know your mother better than I do, but if your brother does decide to file for divorce, perhaps he can announce his decision to your mother by first reminding her of the anger and confusion she felt toward you when she believed you were cheating on your husband. Hopefully this approach will solicit more empathy from her than she has demonstrated in the past. You could have just said your brother came to visit. Either an amazing sister or an incredibly talented pathological liar. Ask your bro if he can tell your husband and maybe have them call your parents to clarify anything, make up something. Sounds like your mom may have forgave adultery in the past and that is why she doesn't believe it to be divorce-worthy. Fuck your brother, never give up. I would have done the same thing for brother. Info. Maybe somebody asked this already, but I can't find it. Did your mother realize it was your brother or did she just think it was a stranger walking around shirtless? When my dad was cheating on my mom, we didn't tell his mother or his siblings the reason for the split for years. I'm not sure that was the right decision. If he didn't move back here, he might never have told her. I don't know what to say, but if she brings it up again you'll have to say something. Let your mom think you're cheating. You, your husband, and your brother all know the truth, so even if your mom decided to tell on you to your husband, he's already aware of what's truly going on. If this saves your brother a bit of meddling from your mom, let her think what she needs.